Hey y'all, it is Ken, and this is something that I've been thinking about doing for quite a while, and have been approached by some friends, some colleagues, co-workers to put some info out in the form of more of a podcast. So this is round one, number one of I think I'm calling this climbing the labyrinth because the world today is kind of like the big labyrinth maze that you walk into, and the further in you get, the deeper down the rabbit hole it goes, and the crazier things become. That sometimes you have to climb up over top to get a good perspective. And so this is that attempt. This is an attempt at that. So this is the number one beginning, and a few things that I just kind of want to lay out is this is going to be an area where I will give some info on faith stuff, maybe some theology topics, denominational things, and that will actually be the first topic that I'm going to hit on. I don't know, maybe tomorrow or the next day. I'll try to do these completely haphazardly, but the first one that I want to hit on is some denomination stuff because it's kind of pertinent for us as a church, but also for the area that we're in and the way that church politics and things are going denomination wide. But that'll be for next time. So this is just intro. So we'll talk faith stuff, we'll talk theology stuff, we'll talk politics. Biblical topics. There might even be some times to get into some in-depth things from sermon topics that we do on Sunday. And that kind of brings it back around that this is a time to dig into some stuff that I maybe necessarily wouldn't say on a Sunday morning from the pulpit. Because I recognize that not everybody's going to have the same thoughts or beliefs or convictions or feelings that I do. And some of these things may not even be specific to God's thoughts, beliefs, or specific things that are not mentioned in the Bible, or things that are maybe even a bit controversial, that Sunday just isn't the right time for them, or at least the place where people will listen the most. Because sometimes you get into the church on Sunday morning, and that's where you hear the things that you want to hear, and the stuff that you don't want to hear kind of you either close your ears to, or you kind of let pass through one ear and out the other one. So this is a space where I'm not necessarily speaking for the church and the leadership or even the staff or any of those things, although at times we may all agree on things. This is simply me giving you info, thoughts and opinions and things like that as we go through. And some of that will be based on my own life experience. Some of that will be on reading and information. But overall, this is not the podcast of First Reformed Church or anything like that. So for those of you that don't agree with the same things that I think, or the way that I interpret some things in Scripture or something, and there can be a diversity of some opinions within the church. I mean, there are some things that there shouldn't be diversity on, and I'm sure we'll get into some of that stuff. But it's possible to have some diversity on opinions, and I don't speak for everyone. So if you're watching podcast number one, then this is just kind of the ground rules that at this point, I don't have any plans of anything that is off the table as far as a possible topic. But who knows? We'll just have to see. But topic number one to come within the next week or so, because we have a informational meeting within our congregation coming up very soon, that we will give some info on whether we stay within the denomination that we're in before another big regional meeting that we have. And I think it's pertinent for y'all to see some of the things that have been going on denomination-wide, some things that our general secretary has been saying and doing, some things that some of the leaders in the other classes on the East Coast have been doing, and some of the things that our denomination has been putting out just as far as discipleship curriculum, or things that they endorse for the church. So that will be the most recent one that I'll kind of tackle, and then who knows what'll be next. But yeah, climbing the labyrinth. Here we go.